Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here. Any other time we have a man on board, the man must be looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. And because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker Show. We help men and women to get matches. And the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, subscribe, like the video, and don't forget to leave a comment. Also, the contacts of our guest will be on my Facebook page at Jenganjeru. So you can follow Jenganjeru on Facebook and you will be getting these updates in real time. Our guest on today's show is a 40-year-old single man who is searching. I want you to listen to this story very carefully because he's coming from Sri Lanka. Okay? And if you can be able to listen to the story, I will post his WhatsApp number, his phone number, so that if you're interested, you will be able to call him directly. Question is, has he been married before? Is he divorced? Is he widowed? Does he have children? If yes, how many? If no, why? You see, those are the kind of questions we answer. You want to ask yourself, what does he do for a living? Okay, you want to know what are the preferences in terms of wife if he is looking for a woman to marry. Those are the things. So sit back. If you have not subscribed, it is the opportune time to subscribe. It is free of charge. And those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. We are 29.8 thousand subscribers. Those are so many people. Okay, so we are 200,000 subscribers shy of 30,000. So maybe tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, even today, if you like, we can hit the 30,000 subscribers. Be amongst the first people who will help us reach there. Okay, God bless you. Mr. Rodney is 40 years old. He's coming from the country of Sri Lanka. If you look at the Asian map, for instance, you're able to look at those countries: India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. Those countries have one thing in common. Okay, they are dominated by people of the Asian descent. Again, there are so many people who subscribe to the religion of either Hinduism, the others who are Buddhists, the others who are different types of religions, but most of them are of the Indian descent. And it is very difficult for a mere man to differentiate between a Pakistani, a Bangladeshi, an Indian, a Sri Lanka. All those people, they almost look the same, even in terms of skin color, their type of hair, their height. You see, most of them look the same. It is, if I bring a Pakistani and an Indian here, unless they tell you or they speak now, you can be able to differentiate between the languages. You cannot tell. Just like Kenyans, Ugandans, Tanzanians, people of the East African community, if you bring them here and you are coming, maybe you're coming from the US, by just looking at them, you cannot tell who is from where, who is Kenyan, who is Ugandan, who is Tanzanian. You understand? Exactly. Now, this guy is coming from Sri Lanka and he's a professor. He is a university teacher. You see, a professor, the definition, I think is the English dictionary, defines a professor as a university teacher with the highest grade. That is the simplest definition of a professor. So a professor is a university teacher. You can call them lecturers. Now, depending on the grade and the classification, depending on the level of placement in that university, in that doctrine, that is what differentiates them. Otherwise, he is a university teacher. He has never been married. He has not married before. He's trying marriage, or he is attempting marriage. He wants to enter marriage for the very first time. He hopes that it will be the first and the last time. I have seen people who judge people because of, there are people who judge people because of getting married late. There are people who judge others because they got married at a particular age, and they ask them, what were you doing at a particular age? What were you doing when you were young? Those are some of the stereotypes that singles who have advanced in age get all the time. However, it is worth noting that even when you're preparing for a family, it is good to be ready in terms of finances, in terms of career. There are people who don't want to bring a child. There are people who don't want to engage a family and then allow that family to suffer. Do you understand? So there are people who give it time. They give themselves time so that they can grow even in their careers. And once their careers kickstart, then they can be able to raise their families smoothly. I even have friends in India. You have seen them on my Facebook pages. I have so many friends who comes from different parts of the world. Some come to Kenya, they visit me in person. Some show up in our offices. And one thing I have realized, they don't have hurry. They are not in a hurry to get married. They are not in a hurry to establish families. Some are in a hurry to establish businesses. Some of them are building careers. And so you cannot judge even women, except that now some women are on a biological time clock. Some say when it approaches 40, they really want to get married. But for men, doesn't actually matter. That's why most of them will even be very comfortable trying marriage at the age of 50 for the very first time. And they don't have kids, they want to start getting them. Our Rodney guy is from Sri Lanka. He's looking for an African wife. There are those things you promised yourself as a child. There are those things you promised yourself when you were growing up. And when you are of age, you want them to materialize. This is one of his childhood dreams. He wants an African woman. So it doesn't matter whether you're Kenyan, whether you're Ugandan, Tanzanian, South African, whether you come from Lesotho, Mozambique, Cameroon. It doesn't matter whether you're Ghanaian, whether you're from the east, west, northern, or the southern part of Africa. If you're just African and you're willing to even relocate to Sri Lanka, you can look at the map where Sri Lanka is. By the way, Sri Lanka is a democracy. And recently, they hit the headlines because of what they did to their prime minister. There was a time they had protests, the Gen Z protests. Everyone in the country protested. And they went to the state house, they swam in the swimming pool, they ate food. You remember how our Gen Zs on the 25th of June, 2024, invaded parliament in the Operation Occupy Parliament. This is what the Gen Zs did in Sri Lanka. They evicted their prime minister, their prime minister flew and ran away from the country. They wanted to bring normalcy because there was a lot of corruption, bad governance, poor leadership. They wanted to bring sense in their government. So it is a democracy. It's a pure democracy that was being abused. And so they prevented their democracy from being raped. That is Sri Lanka. So you can study the history of Sri Lanka and you can see what kind of people they are. So Mr. Rodney is looking for a woman from the ages of 28 all the way to 45. And if you're there, you're single and you're searching and you can get babies because you would really want to get babies, you can even contact him. After this, I will be posting his phone number on my Facebook page at Jenganjero on the story section. There are people who ask, Jenga, how do you get the story section? You want to click on my profile picture. You see that blue ring, not blue ring. It's a blue ring, the tongue twister. That blue ring on my Facebook page. Those are the status stories. Just like the WhatsApp status comes in green, the Facebook one will come in blue. So you click and then you see those contacts running. You can contact the one that you're interested in because today we are going to post a number. And then you can be able to contact them at your own convenient time. That's why I keep on asking people, because they expire in 24 hours. You subscribe to this, you will be doing yourself a favor if you're looking for a match on this show. You can subscribe and enable the notifications bell so that any other time I release a new video, YouTube automatically notifies you. And once you're notified, you'll be able to see whether or not you'll be interested in the guest, get the contact immediately, and then you will be on the you'll be on the receiving end. So that these candidates, once they get the first people approaching them, some of them decide very fast. So be amongst the first people who contact our guests. Sio wewe ukuwe mtu unaona video after 5 days, after 6 days, and you could have subscribed. For example, once I post this one, notifications will come to those who have subscribed. You get the point. So you'll be doing yourself a favor by subscribing to this channel. Another thing, we are just 200 subscribers shy of what? of 30,000. That's a big feat. It's a big accomplishment. Don't you want to be part of this journey? Of course you do. So be amongst the people who will help us reach that number, 30,000 subscribers. So usikue ati una watch na uja subscribe, usikue ati una watch uja like. You like these videos, okay? That's the only way you can support this channel. Until then, this is Jenga Njeru. God bless you. Bye bye.